think it is very telling how John Jones is reacting to Adesanya. I don't think they're very similar, though. I don't see many similarities in their style. I think their physicality is very similar. I think, the reach advantage they have over most opponents is very similar, but their fighting style is not so much. I would actually say that Rob Whitaker's fighting style is more like John Jones in the way that he picks and pokes and kind of works at people like consistently. I think John Jones has got a far more active style, and I think he also fights in ranges where his opponents are stronger. I think whereas Israel Adesanya always brings his A game to the fight, John Jones is flexible, he's adaptable, he'll fight in any different range depending on how he feels like he wants to be challenged. Is he moving up to fight John Jones? He's just not going to work out for him. He's just not big enough. Everything that Adesanya does, I feel like John Jones can beat him to the punch with the reach advantage, the height advantage. I feel like anything that John Jones lands would be more significant given the fact that he's a bigger, stronger athlete. I think the smart thing for Adesanya to do is to stay at middleweight for now. There's plenty of guys there to fight. There are plenty of things that he needs to prove before he even needs to think about going up to light heavyweight. I do think he would need to add some muscle to his frame in order to do that.
And my analysis is by no means saying that I think John Jones is the better fighter. I think that he does do a lot of things better than Adesanya does. I think the wrestling and the groundwork are probably the two that stand out. Their styles are so different, like their skill sets are so different, it's hard to really say who's the better striker. Adesanya might be the better striker. They're very, very different approaches for sure. I don't know which one's more effective. When I was fighting John, I never felt like he was stronger than me. I fought as high as heavyweight before and as low as 170. I've been in there with a lot of strong guys. I've trained with a lot of strong guys. I've been in there with Stipe and Verdum in the training rooms. He didn't feel strong. He's really heavy. And I know that sounds kind of silly. He distributes his weight differently than other people do. He just always feels when he's touching you, he's just heavy. And he's hard to get off of you when you're in the clinch. He uses it, even though he's so long in the clinch, he uses his leverage there really effectively. So what I don't want is for everyone to go and say that Dan Hardy and Anthony Smith said that John Jones is way better than Adesanya, because that's how it's going to end up coming out. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that I think John Jones is better than Israel Adesanya. I'm saying I don't think in this current moment that Israel Adesanya can beat John Jones in an MMA match. And that has nothing to do with skill set or ability.
Israel Adesanya joins us here on the Luke Thomas Show. Now, at the end, I noticed you were in orthodox stance through almost the entirety of that fight, Israel. I noticed at the very end of his blitzes, you'd end up in southpaw. Tell me why.
Well, I decided to stay orthodox for this fight. I decided to box him up in the beginning because I knew he's going to try and I told them, I said, look, you can watch the Calvin fight. You can see how my face is. And you might think, oh, this is how you get to him. I told them I'm cerebral, I know the mistake I made in that fight. I know what was happening in my life in that fight, my personal life. So I knew why I wasn't the fighter I normally am in the beginning. And I warned them. I told you, don't look at that fight and think you know how to beat me. So, yeah, I just knew what to do. So I stayed orthodox. I didn't kick as much as I wanted, not as I wanted to, as I would normally do. But yeah, I had my reasons, and look what turned out.
No doubt about it. There's some talk out here that yes, all the punches you landed were crisp. You're so much better than the skeptics said, but that maybe Whitaker was really damaged by those 10 rounds with Yoel. How do you feel about that?
My man had 16 months to breathe. I was pretty damaged after my 5-round war with Ese Diablo, Kelvin Gastelum, and I had 6 months. He's had 16 months to breathe. There's no, people can say whatever they want to say. Well, Kelvin rocked me, didn't he? Twice. My ass never hit the canvas, but he rocked me twice, and eventually, I came back and I messed him up. Guess what? If I got knocked out in another parallel universe, another timeline, the narrative is he's all hype and also Kelvin probably softened him up as well. So they can say what they want to say.
So then you mentioned Stylebender. You've been a champ now for a while, Max. You know what it's like, that champ life. You've been living it. What do you think Israel Adesanya is in for now?
I think he, since the interim title is the same and now he's the champ, the undisputed champ, he's there. He got the charisma, he got everything.
But I know what I'm saying is like, how is your, like, you know how your life is different now as a champ. How do you think his is going to change?
I mean, I think he's going to do shitload of media now for a lot. You know, a lot of media definitely. And then you're just going to have to be places, a lot of places. It changes a lot. You know, champ life is different. We talked about it when I was getting ready for the Poirier fight. You know, people don't understand that how much stuff you got to do. But, you know, I think that guy, when he was doing his kickboxing, he was doing a lot of champ stuff, a lot of media stuff and this and that, flying all over the world. So I think he's there. You know, that's why. And you can see, like, how people get affected by it. You know, this fight was big, and he went out there, still dancing and grooving and doing his thing. So, you know, respect to him. The man did what he's supposed to do, and he killed it.